Hey guys, it's Prince Rich with Rich Technology Group, and in today's video we're going to talk about, is Vonage Business a good phone system option for your call center? So today's video in short is Vonage Business phone system for call centers. So we're going to go through a handful of points here, and for those of you who are watching, again, this video is not necessarily for smaller businesses that say have 3 to 10 phones or even 20 phones. This video is specifically for persons who are running a call center, or part of your business is a call center, and you are looking at phone system options that would not only be cost effective, but would have the complex features that call centers typically require. So let's get started. So first of all, for those of you who are watching who are not using a voice over IP phone system, I want to do a quick overview of voice over IP, why I recommend it for the call center. So voice over IP at a glance, what is it and why for the call center? First of all, if you're using current analog phone lines, you could get a phone system PBX and have it custom designed and built for a small to mid-sized to even large call center. But it would be extremely cost effective, in the tens of thousands. And for those of you who are watching that are running a larger call center, it would easily be into the higher tens of thousands, possibly even in the $100,000 range. Voice over IP, because it doesn't use plain Jane analog lines, it utilizes the internet, which is everywhere, versus plain Jane analog lines are limited by geographic location and normal copper, telephone lines underground and above ground and things like that. You have the ability with a voice over IP system versus an old school analog PBX to be able to not only have a mid-sized to larger phone system in a call center, but also have much better scalability. You would also have the ability to have multiple locations much easier as well, because you're not restricted to location, because your phone system quite literally uses the architecture of the intranet to communicate across city, state borders, and even internationally. So the short of it is if you're watching this and you're debating analog voice versus voice over IP, there's no question voice over IP is the way to go. Cheaper, better equipment, more technologically advanced with better features than analog phone system, and it's much more scalable and has better ease of growth, as well as lower costs of ownership over time and lower costs to add additional phones or add additional locations. So one of the second reasons that a voice over IP phone system specifically through Vonage Business would be great for a call center, for those of you watching, is if you got a call center, you got a lot of phones. Vonage typically has not only special pricing for call centers and things like that, they have free phones. They have reduced cost high-end phones, and then their mid-grade and lower grade phones, they have offers for free phones. Now, the free phone offers are even for the smaller businesses that have like 2 phones in the office or 3 to 10 phones in the office. So for you guys watching that have a call center, you have a whole lot more than 10 phones. You might have 30, you might have 40, you might have 50. So it's no question that an arrangement of sorts could be worked out with Vonage, where they're like, hey, if you sign based on what you need, it's going to be this much per month. If you guys are willing to sign a 1-year or a 2-year contract, we'll give you the phones at no extra charge, just to help onboard you and make it so that you don't have any upfront cost. So Vonage is really good about businesses like that have those high capabilities and have a large number of users, practically just giving you the equipment to kind of sweeten the deal to get you on board to a service that you already need anyways. Number 3, and I touched on it a little bit in point number 2, is larger scale, better rates. As I've mentioned in many other videos and at the beginning of this video, if you were to say deal with Vonage Business, especially going through us, you're already going to get a better deal than what you see sticker price on their website, or if you call in directly going through us, because we're an authorized dealer, partner, and we can kind of, talk to people in high places that we know there to get you really good rates. However, if you are a call center, you've got some clout, you've got weight, because you've got a lot of phones. So I'm able to go to Vonage and say, hey, this isn't the average deal like what we bought you guys last week. I've got a contact that's got 50 phones. What are you going to do for them? Basically is what I typically would say. When they see the number of phones that you have and the size of your account, you will usually get a special rate, a better rate than what you would get if you called in directly, a better rate than what someone else would get with a smaller business of your size and status, because it's just the numbers. It's the sheer numbers. It's no different than if you go to a car dealership. If you go to, say, a BMW dealership and you're buying a personal car for yourself, you go in there and say, oh, I need one car. Yeah, you may be able to negotiate with the car salesman to get the price down just a little bit over sticker price, which is not bad. But if you're a business and you're looking for multiple company cars and you walk up into the same BMW dealership and say, hey, I need 12 company vehicles, you're going to get a price that obviously somebody that's coming in buying one or two cars is not going to get, because you've got the sheer volume. You've got a bit of seniority there right off the bat, because you're looking to spend some money and you have a bigger need than the average business. Features at a glance, which is point number 4 that I wanted to touch on, which are some of the main things that a call center would want to utilize. Now, keep in mind, a system like this, a Vonage Business VoIP over IP phone system, already is going to have some pretty advanced features that any average business would expect, such as, voicemail, call transfer, call waiting, putting calls on hold, things like that. But there are some additional features that Vonage Business has that are specifically designed for call centers. So I'll go into a few of those. Auto attendant, which is not specifically designed for call center, but obviously if you're a call center, you have a high volume of calls coming in. So auto attendant is a really big one for you, which is included in the cost in most all of their base packages. Call queue would be another advanced feature, which does cost extra, but it's not much. Call queue is basically like, for those of you who are watching that have ever called like a pizza place and you've called kind of after hours, or you get into this queue that basically says, for example, thank you for calling Pizza Hut. One of our associates will be with you in just a few moments. And you sit on hold, and it's got some music playing, and maybe every 30 to 45 seconds, it'll play a commercial or something like that that says, did you know about our, 2 mediums for the price of 1 special? Ask the agent when they, ask your store representative when they pick up about how you can purchase this. That's basically a call queue. It's basically a queue where the phone system will put however many callers you have calling in. It could be 10 callers or 100 callers into this queue, and they're all waiting. And the phone is ringing in your office, going around however you've told the pattern to do it, to ring around the office or ring all the phones until somebody answers. But the person is sitting on hold versus getting voicemail. That's a very popular way that we see a lot of call centers, or even small businesses that are non-call centers that have a high call volume. That's a feature that we see them utilize to keep people from going to voicemail and be able to slowly sift through those incoming calls without losing any of them. So call queue is a very popular one for call centers because, again, it's a way to manage large volumes of callers without having them go to voicemail or having them or losing them. You can add a thing to a call queue that basically says, at any time during this message, if you'd like to leave a message, if you prefer not to hold and would like to leave a message, press 4 or something like that. So it can do that too. But again, it's a way to manage high amounts of call volume professionally versus someone just sitting on the phone hearing the traditional ring, ring, ring for 3 minutes until you may answer. Call monitoring and call barge are 2 extremely popular features that you can get with Vonage Business that are very inexpensive, but very, very popular among call centers. For those of you who have ever called any type of big business like your bank or something like that, or UPS or FedEx or something, or a phone company for that matter, you've probably heard the message that says, thank you for holding. Or before you get on the phone, it'll say something like, this call is being monitored or recorded for quality assurance purposes. It's being monitored for quality insurance purposes, but the barge, what that is, for those of you watching, is it's the ability for somebody like management. Say you've got a new employee that's new to your call center. You could have somebody with HR, with management, actually listen in on that person's calls to see if they're saying the right things, see if they're handling customers correctly. And if they hear during the call that they feel that a call could be handled better or isn't being handled well, they could very politely barge into the call as a third party, as a third person on the call, and just assist the person talking, the representative, or correct the person, or give the caller the correct information politely along with the original call representative. So call recording is another one that I wanted to discuss. That one doesn't really need much explanation. For a lot of you guys out there that are call centers, you may be dealing in an area of product sales or services sales where you have some liabilities. You need to be able to know what was said on a call in case a customer feels that a call wasn't handled correctly, or they were told something differently, they claim about a product that they weren't specifically told, or whatever it may be. You can also get call recording with Vonage Business very inexpensively and have quite literally every single call that goes in and out of your company's phone system recorded for future use, for later reasons. You may want to record them for legal reasons. You may want to record them for training purposes so that you could go over those calls with new employees or new sales executives to show them how calls should or shouldn't go. So that's a very useful feature, and all of the ones that I've mentioned are pretty inexpensive. And again, if you're a call center, typically you're going to have a lot of phones and a lot of clout, as we call it, a lot of pull. So you might even be able to get a lot of these features at a slightly reduced price from sticker price that you would normally see on the website or dealing with Vonage Business Direct. The last very popular feature with call centers that I wanted to go over is InContact. InContact is basically a third-party software that interacts with voice over IP business phone systems, but it offers some extremely advanced features that are specific to call centers. We're not going to go into that right now, but I'll drop a link under this video to InContact for those of you who want to see what it is. But the reason I wanted to talk about this is because we've worked with a lot of other carriers other than Vonage Business. We've worked with Nextiva, RingCentral, Vonage Business, of course, and many others. And the thing that most people don't realize is that, yes, all of these other carriers do utilize InContact's third-party software with their phone system to be able to offer call centers much more advanced features. But Vonage Business has an exclusive contract with InContact, where InContact is quite literally integrated into the existing Vonage Business platform. What does this mean? This means that typically, if you were to say to get comparative quotes, if you're a call center and you got comparative quotes from, say, Nextiva, RingCentral, and Vonage Business should come in the cheapest if you're integrating a InContact solution, because Vonage Business doesn't per se have to charge you extra or rake you over the coals, as we would say, to cover the cost of InContact, because it's already built into the structure. The other companies do, because they don't have this exclusive contract with InContact that Vonage Business does. So typically, if you're looking at a XYZ, whoever it may be, business phone system solution with InContact's software integrated into it, it's going to be more expensive than Vonage Business, because Vonage Business already has a cookie cut ordeal where their system is tied directly into InContact. It's even like co-branded with them and everything. So, point number 5 that I wanted to get at, we're past features, is location and scalability. I touched on this one a little bit at the beginning when we talked about kind of the architecture of voice over IP for those watching that didn't know what it was. A hosted phone system, or what we would call a cloud-based phone system or voice over IP phone system, VoIP, is extremely scalable. If you're somebody watching this that currently has a call center, but you've run into a problem because you're using an old school system and you're trying to open up another location or trying to move your location, don't panic. A Vonage Business phone system on this type of architecture on voice over IP, it's extremely scalable. You can add and subtract phones as needed, and it doesn't care about location. It is reliant on just your internet, which I think we can all agree, if you're a business, you can virtually get internet anywhere. So really, to sum it up, is Vonage Business right for your call center? There are many options out there. If you're watching this video and you're not sure, drop me a line. I work with Vonage Business directly. I actually have some contacts at Vonage Business that are call center specialists. So I've got someone that I could put you in direct contact with that would actually ask you the questions like, how many phones do you have or are you going to have during this transition? What are some of the advanced call center features that you need? What are some wish list features that you wish you had that would make the call center flow just so much better and make your day easier, streamline things better? So again, this is Prince Rich with Rich Technology Group. Thank you for watching the video. For those of you who are watching this already and you have a voice over IP business phone system in your call center, tell me who you're using. Tell me who you're using, why you chose them, and why you like the phone system that you've got. Thanks again for watching, and we'll talk again soon.